Declan, it's a sickening way to lose a game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think when it's 0-0, you look up at the clock, 93 minutes gone. If you ain't going to win the game, don't lose it. And maybe have that little bit of savviness about us at the end, just to stay and get a draw here in a tough stadium against a tough opponent. But obviously a lot to play for in the next leg, which is at home.
Galeno was right in front of you when he shot and scored that goal. How frustrating was it to concede so late on?
Yeah, so frustrating. I think it was the whole mixture of play, to be honest with you. It was a couple of giveaways on the edge of our box, and we was probably breaking forward. And then they've caught us again on the counter, and like you said, he's stuck one in the top corner, which is obviously really, really disappointing. But look, we've just said in there, we're really positive as a group. We've had such a good start to 2024. We're not going to let this get us down. We've got a big one Saturday, and then we'll readdress this game, which obviously is a big one in 2 weeks' time.
At the other end of the pitch, why did they make it so difficult for you to create chances? Because we've seen you guys scoring so many goals recently. Yeah,
look, I've just heard they lost 2 games here all season. They obviously know what they're doing. You've seen Porto in the years over the Champions League. Really honest, hard-working side with some great players. Tonight they just made it really compact and difficult, and we have to change our approach in the home leg and give it absolutely everything. This is the Champions League. It's what we want to be competing in. So that even though we're a goal down, it's a nice goal to aim for, where we can change it around in the home leg.
Yeah, when you say change your approach, have you already spoken about what you guys would do differently?
Not yet. I think it's just about keeping our head. Obviously, it's hard to concede that late, but knowing we've got the home leg in front of us, knowing how we play at home with our fans and our energy, I think you're going to see a team that plays on the front foot straight from the start, looking to win the game, and hopefully we can do that.
The knockouts of the Champions League can be brutal. What's the biggest learning that you've taken from this?
I don't think you can. I don't know, to be honest with you. I think you don't know what to expect. Like you said, it's the knockouts. You can't overlook anyone ever in the Champions League, because it is the Champions League. Special things happen, and like I said there, it's a real kick in the teeth because we've conceded late. But look, we know what to do. If we want to get into the next round, we know how we've got to win and what we've got to do to go about that. And look, like I said, we're really positive about it. We're not going to let our heads drop. We've been in great bit of form. It's about staying positive and getting back, recovering, going again in the Premier League, and we'll be ready for the Champions League for sure.
Thanks, Declan.
Thank you.
OK, there, Declan Rice with his interview there. The majority of Arsenal fans still in the stadium. As we mentioned earlier on, they're letting them out slowly, so drips and drabs. They weren't allowed to leave earlier on. They had to wait until all the Porto fans had left the stadium. And I imagine the last thing they want to do is spend more time here, where they had a miserable night. Declan mentioned there, look, Porto are brilliant at home. In the last 10, they're unbeaten. So they knew it was going to be quite difficult. Not sure if they thought their own standards were going to slip in that sense. But they need to turn it round and need to get back to positivity, which is what Declan was trying to say. We need to readdress this, because Newcastle's coming up at the Emirates at home, and that is incredibly important.
Yeah, it's obviously, they're still in with a great shout for the Premier League, trying to get back here again in the competition again for this time next year. But it's about using that, isn't it? That hurt and that disappointment tonight, using that as oxygen for the return leg. I think they pretty well know now what's ahead of them. It's going to be an amazing night. With 3 weeks away, though, so a lot of football between now and then. And it is the competition of disappointments. It's brutal. When I didn't play in this competition till I was early 30s, and it shocked me at the amount of times we conceded late goals. It's nothing new. It's how you come back with that character, as long as you learn from it. And I think the group will do that, because it's us against them, really. And it's like, I feel Arsenal they look better than them, but just didn't get the result they needed tonight.